mid-80s, the Thompson Twins were no strangers to the charts, with hits like Doctor Doctor, We Are Detective and Hold Me Now. Following a run of hits, the group, which then numbered 3, have had a bit of a break but have not been idle. Recently, a track by Feedback Max was creating a lot of noise on the dance floors, only for everyone to later discover that it was the Thompson Twins reappearing on the scene. When Sonia Fraser met Elena Curry and Tom Bailey, she asked if they were making an obvious move away from the pop market to the dance floors.
If you say, OK, I'm going to make pop music, and you confine yourself just to that, then it gets very hard to move left or right, or, oh, I'm just going to make rock music or something. But I mean, the great thing about the Thompson Twins is that it does it can move this way or that. We do all those things and more,
The name's always been the same, Thompson Twins, but the numbers that are associated with the Thompson Twins have gone up and down. Alana, tell us, what the numbers have been along the way.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I joined the Thompson Twins in, 79. And at that point, I was the 5th one to join. There were 5 guys in it then. And then it went up to about 7 at one point. We got fairly tribal and got into a lot of percussion music. It was great. And then we went down in 82 to the 3 of us, and Joe left in 86. And there's basically just been the 2 of us since then.
Does that make it an easier working relationship now that there are just the 2 of you?
Well, we can both get on a motorbike.
If we
so
wanted
it's cheaper.
to.
Tell us about the current single entitled Come Inside, because I gather that initially it wasn't released under the title of Thompson Twins, was it?
No, well, as Feedback Max, I did a remix with the other... A remix with Feedback Max. And that was actually put out first on a white label format, credited to Feedback Max.
Why?
And eventually... Well, why? Because... I guess, in a way, we were trying to do something underhand. We were trying to slip in unnoticed into the clubs, which is sometimes a fun thing to do, to wear a disguise. So that then people are judging the piece of work rather than the reputation of the people who made it. I guess that's the real reason, Because sometimes people can hold your reputation against you, as we all know, and we wanted to avoid that with this song. And in a way it worked, Some people do have this prejudice problem, and they think, oh, well, if it's there, I'm not interested, sort of thing. But when they realised that they'd been dancing to it for a couple of weeks already anyway, they had to come to terms with their own prejudice. In the end, we released a version by CNC. They did a remix for us and put the Feedback Max on the other side.
But I gather the track's doing remarkably well, not only on the London dance floors and up and down the UK, but in America as well.
Yeah, it seems to be taking off club-wise really well for us.
I suppose when you look back to the beginning, anyone who levels of criticism like, oh, Thompson Twins are trying to get into club music, what would be your levelling back at that in a way, as you say, you have always been there, or on the fringes of that from the beginning, Alana?
Well, I don't think anybody owns one sort of music or another, and, if you're into growing and changing and being musicians for a long time, then hopefully you are going to change. You're not going to be doing the same music as you were 10 years ago. However, 10 years ago, our first hit, if you like, was a track called In the Name of Love. And it's what got our foot in the door in America. People really got off on it there, and that's what took us to the States. And
that was a big dance record, and people there were saying to us, why aren't you using real instruments? What is this synthesizer rubbish? And, drum machines? What is it all, is that real or is that fake? So in a way, we had to do a lot of the vanguard work that created the space for a lot of today's dance. I'm not saying it's all down to us or anything, but to be accused of jumping on a dance bandwagon is a little shallow.
Kiss 100 FM.